very, very comfortable. Right from the entrance when you enter here, there's no salon that you need. Even if you have your sickness, everything vanishes. I would like to also introduce that we have antenatal class as part of our nursing education. We do about 4 modules. Inside the 4 modules, we have various topics under them. This class also is done every week. There's a link that is shared where we discuss issues about maternal health. We also talk about neonatal jaundice, pregnancy-induced hypertension. It's a whole that we want everyone to come and experience. So kindly make it a point to come and experience medicine and you never forget. Remember that once you are not here, we are also not existing.
Faith-based topics and religious doctrines oftentimes brews confusion, debates, defensive postures, and passionate conversations. As a people, our allegiance to a denominational doctrine and canons must not cloud our judgment to miss the real focus of being Christ and biblical centered. Do our doctrines mold and shaping our identity, or they cloud our judgment and enslave our actions? Welcome to Religious Doctrines on the Hot Seat, exclusively on Adward TV, every Sunday from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. as our host Reginald Percival Robertson and Reverend Father Ebenezer Petrus take you on a captivating journey through religious doctrines. This live show offers compelling analysis, expert insights, and debates on vital faith-based topics. Dive into thought-provoking discussions that challenge your perspectives and deepen your understanding of religious teachings. Religious Doctrines on the Hot Seat, reforming mentalities, challenging dogmas.
When the time has come to make that choice, PPAG will be PPAG.
Do you feel maltreated by an intimate partner or a family relation? Are you experiencing emotional, financial, or any form of abuse at home, in your relationship, or at your workplace? Do you feel like you have reached your limits? No, you don't deserve this kind of treatment. Every woman, every child, every man has the right to live free from fear, free from violence, free to be human. You have the right to decide on what happens to your body, and that includes the right to choose a family planning method. Sexual and gender-based violence is a violation of human rights, and together we can end it. SGBV include rape, forced marriage, domestic abuse, female genital mutilation, and all forms of sexual exploitation. It is happening in our homes, our schools, our markets, sometimes our workplace, and even in silence. Sexual abuse is not a family issue. It is a crime. Speak up. Human rights are not just for some. They are for everyone, young or old, male or female, rich and poor. You have the right to say no. You have the right to be safe. Do not be afraid to report the perpetrators by stigmatizing the victims. If we stay in silence, the abuse will continue. But if we speak up, we will save lives. Who knows? You may be saving your loved one who would have become the next victim. Boys and men, you have a role. Stand against SGBV. Choose respect. No one deserves shame. If you know someone facing any of SGBV, please call Yenkasa on 0800 20 20 10 or WhatsApp 0245 118 228 for the best support you will need. Remember, the call is absolutely free. Let us help you report it to the appropriate institutions like those two. Together, we can build a world where everyone is free. Free to dream, free from fear. Say no to violence. Say yes to dignity. It is your right. Yenkasa. Help you can trust. This message is brought to you by Planned Parenthood Association of Ghana with the support from UNFPA Ghana. Together, we protect sexual and reproductive health rights.
Stand by me.
We appreciate your time that you could stick to us on AM Ghana Show on Adult Television. My name is Na Anyema Collison. The show is coming to you live from Medfem Hospital here at Westland. And it's time now for us to take our newspaper headlines, shall we? Okay, we'll start off from the Informer newspaper. Top stories on the Informer newspaper is police gunned down 2 armed robbers after attack on Momo vendor in Tema. And also on the front page this morning, 20% tax on rent allowance. We are not responsible. This according to the Ministry of Interior, who is clarifying this. The story comes along with a picture of the Interior Minister on the front page of the Informer newspaper. And Varsity Dawn challenges A+ to prove land grabbing allegations by Mahama appointees. Also here on the front page of the newspaper. And top story for the Informer newspaper this morning, the Ghana Revenue Authority boss halt payments to small, medium SML over controversial contract. And the top story for today's edition of the Informer newspaper this morning, the Ghana Revenue Authority boss halted payments to SML over controversial contract here. The front page, Education Watch urges fair teacher development. And finally on the front page, traders give government 1 month ultimatum on the stalled KJTR Phase 2 project. So these are the top stories on the front page of the Informer newspaper this morning. Lizzie,
yes, so let's do our first daily. That is the Daily Graphic newspaper, Truth and Accuracy every day, reporting at IMF/World Bank brings meeting. World applauds Ghana's economic turnaround. Also, World meets in Ghana to honor Asante Hene as pillar of peace. Government pushes for dedicated TVET funds reform. These are the stories reported on the front page of the Graphic newspaper. Pep.
Right, so let's move to the new Crusading Guide. Lead Gates Foundation praise Pilgrim Affairs Office for improved Hajj management. This story on page 10 of the new Crusading Guide. The big one here is the ex gratia payment blues. Straj probes Atu Forces. Stories on pages 3, 9, and 10. Tremasu youth go bonkers. Block highway bent ties over Galamsey killings. Elsewhere, private developers takes over private public school lands. Private developers takes over public school lands. BCE planning boss stand accused. Education minister petitioned. IDU leadership pays courtesy call on Nwa March. And Samuel Ewuku demands detailed answers from maritime authorities over NV Sankofa saga. And on Richard Niamakwe's case, the Federation of something lawyers, FIDA they call them, condemned judge. I think that's a bit of the petition I cited yesterday. The International Federation of Women Lawyers, FIDA, International Federation of Women Lawyers, Ghana, petition to the Chief Justice, His Lordship Probafoboni, and then it is in response to Mrs. Joanna Kwe versus Richard Niamakwe, suit number DM0569 stroke 2021 petition for proper education of judges on adjudication of marital and gender sensitive matters, including distribution of marital properties. Though the letter I cited does not have all the details, but what the law platform has cited is that, and the quotation, it is in light of that we express complete disapproval for passages in the judgment which introduced considerations unrelated to the legal issue for determination. In particular, the reference to the petitioner as physically attractive and capable of marrying anytime felt like she is in the context of deciding financial relief, capable of remarrying anytime she felt, unquote. In the context of deciding financial relief to be granted her is with respect offensive and deeply troubling. Such commentary has no place in legal analysis. Instead, it suggests that a woman's entitlement to justice may be weighed against stereotypes about her presence, desirability, and of married prospects. That implication is incompatible with the dignity of litigants and with the objectivity expected of judicial determination. FIDA Ghana's petition to the Chief Justice. I don't know whether you follow the Nyama case.
Of course, it is quite appalling. I'm not being judgmental, but it is quite appalling to suffer with your spouse, and then at the end of the day, they give you 300,000 Ghana cedis. And when you know the person is capable and you've been with him for, let's just say, I know people will come at me, but in your minding, if all issues are put aside and the fact that I am part of or something we began together, I'm a shareholder of one of your companies, I don't think that 300,000 Ghana cedis is fair. But that being said, the issues concerning divorce and partners being interested in whatever their spouse have when it gets to that junction that we are crossing is also another conversation for another time, because now marriage, relationship, and let's just say dating has become very transactional, whether you like it or not. What you have
you seen the demands? Did you see her demands?
Well, I've seen all her demands that she brought, and then she was giving this one, and what she was giving, the 300,000, is based on what the judges think merits her and the issue she presented to the court. I am saying that it could be the judge is on a particular position that where he is, he sees that the lady deserves this, and also it could also be because Nyama can pay the demands that the lady is. That's the point that I'm coming in. So if it was separated and we want all the other demands, Nyama can give and he'll give more. Add and kill can give more.
One of the things that caught my attention in the demand list was to have access to all of his houses, all including that of his mother. And you want the court to grant this request?
Oh, there are exceptions in all rules, okay? I am saying that not to grant all her demands, but the judge who sat on the case knows the merits of the case and know why and what he should have done, and he did, and he gave the judgment, and he said you deserve 300,000 Ghana cedis. What else can you say? I am coming from the perspective of I have nothing to do with Pepsival, but we'll have to start a business together. I'm a shareholder, and unfortunately, whatever happened, people who are in beds have different things to say when it comes to things to share. Maybe later you become a third person, but then looking at somebody that you have suffered with, of course, the lady's demand is too much.
Exactly.
That one will not leave it, but the demands are too much. That being said, for the perspective that we put something together, and I'm a shareholder in maybe 2 or 3 of your companies, do you think I deserve 300,000 Ghana cedis? Maybe my shares is even more than that.
It's not possible because
maybe my shares.
Well, from the story that we know, I don't really want to go in there because it's kind of a bit extreme, but the fault we are told is from the lady. So if indeed the court finds her guilty, then 300,000 Ghana cedi is fit for her.
It's fair.
Because now, yes, because you are calling for divorce. That's what I'm told, if that's the truth. And then you are at fault at the end of the day. I don't even think
some time back there was a ruling that Supreme Court brought that if we were coming to settle as couples, yes. So before this judgment or before this ruling came, what we have known over the years is the two shall become one, right? So every other thing, when there is separation, we share. Even when there are children, it is pretty difficult because and it brings about a lot of worry on the child because there's a broken home. I am just coming from the point that if we put everything aside, my demands are not realistic. It is too much. It was being very realistic with the contributions I have put in there. Maybe but approximately 300,000 is not like.
You see, the question is, you are basing this. There's a theory we call the consequentialism ethics theory on outcome. So based on outcome, now that Nyama is rich, we know Nyama is rich. So today, somebody is saying that I've put in a lot. What is the yardstick? Who measured it? What is the level of the input you made?
That happened in their bedroom.
No.
That happened in their bedroom. That we cannot tell.
If it is bedroom, then we all left satisfied. If it is bedroom, we are using it. That material moment of bedroom, once the deal is done, we all move away with the pleasure. I am pleasured, you are pleasured. And if that bedroom alone is to be used as the yardstick to quantify the wealth that somebody has done, then I'm sure the settlement has been done way back. So if in their journey of relationship, as whatever be the case, the pleasure has already been established. It has paid off. But again, it is true that when people are together and then they are building family together, people make sacrifices. The mere fact that she's able to give food to the husband every now and then, bet for him, cater for children, for him to go onto his business and back, alone signifies that the lady has done something for him. But again, do we then say that because of all the things that the lady has done for the gentleman, because we are now at the altar of divorce, I lose everything because I'm divorcing, because I've said that I don't want to be with you again. I'm here to follow some of the narrative of the issue. But is it the fact that she's having shares in some of the companies already? If it's a fact that she's already having shares in some of the companies already, their divorce is not annulling that shareholding bid. She's there as a shareholder. And if you're a shareholder of a business, you are entitled to dividends, profits, and what have you of the company. So if she's enjoying that, and that one is security enough. Now she says she wants access to the gentleman's all the houses of the man,
including that of his mother.
Where? Now go back to the feeder, the feeder people.
Yeah.
The feeder people are not attacking the ruling. They don't have problem with the ruling. What means they don't have problem with the ruling? There's a portion in their letter that says that. A recent ruling, blah 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 blah. Our concern is not with the authority of the court to determine the rights of the parties before it, nor is it an attempt to interfere with the principle of judicial independence, which we fully respect. Rather, our concern lies with the aspects of the reasoning and the language employed by the judgment, which diminish the dignity of women before the courts and weaken public confidence in fairness, neutrality, and sensitivity of judicial reasoning in family law. So clearly, the concerns of FIDA is not about what was given. Yes, Nanyama has a very fair case. Because now that the ruling is out, she can also express opinion about it. For me, I am really aback and in between this. I don't know who to really speak for. Because as a gender advocate like me, I'll be moved to go and be like, I have to empathize or sympathize with the woman in this situation. But again, I come back to look at what are the facts before us. What issues are we dealing with? That is why I say that I agree on Anyeme's point of if you don't take care, the relationship between two people, when you talk about it, become a third person. For all you know, this thing that is happening between Yama and then the wife, maybe even beyond this court, maybe beyond all of this social media and public charade. There's something small that will probably rejoin them, retwine them back together, and then who will be there? Hey, among other things. Yes, people are saying that too because of
you've
my
seen
friend.
One, the other one. They are back. Yeah, we are.
You see, the Singaton person. They are saying that they are intact. So maybe the issue is now going to go through probably some chief somewhere, some moral compass or authority somewhere like a pastor or somewhere that they're saying, look, what people are doing, they're so important. Come back. Let's talk about this one again. None of them is even making attribution to the children. Like you made mention of that. What is the concern of children? What mindset? Hello, the mindset of children. You made mention of the children. Where are the children going to stay?
Exactly.
No, none of them is talking about it. Nobody is factoring what happens to the children. But I'm sure that this divorce issue there is content for open
mind. But the judgment says that the children stay with the lady, but the man takes care of them.
Oh yes, so if it happens, anytime the kids are below 18,
it goes to the
they have to go to the man, the woman. Sorry, the mother.
But guys, I'm afraid we have to end the conversation here because our doctor is on standby to speak to Lizzie. Me, I'm interested in the 24-hour care and how is the institution is marrying it together with a 24-hour economy. Maybe you would ask, how does the private sector institution like MedFM benefit from government-stated initiative? Guys, if you just tune in, this is AM Ghana Show on Adult Television. We're coming to you from MedFM Hospital here at Westland. For you to be part of the show, send us your thoughts and comments under the comment section on our live stream on Facebook at Adult Television Ghana, and you can also send us WhatsApp text messages and all that, and we'll read them for you to be part of the show. My name is Anyema Collison. Up next is a conversation with a doctor from MedFM on healthcare and 24-hour care here with the institution. We'll be back shortly. Please to stay with us.
Attention Ghana, attention Black Stars. The world is calling and history is about to be made. The 2026 FIFA World Cup to be hosted across Canada, Mexico, and the USA. The biggest celebration of football ever. This is your chance to be there live. Feel the roar of the crowd. Witness epic moments, goals, and cheers as a proud Ghanaian on the global stage.
Well, that's hooked forward. Here's a chase for Gian. He's 1-on-2. It is Gian. He's in the area. He scores! Ghana are back in front.
Ashton travels and tours under the leadership of Honorable Alfred Okovandapoy, MP for Ablikuma South and chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee, brings you the ultimate 2026 World Cup experience. Your journey includes full visa facilitation, travel insurance, match day tickets, mass transport to and from the stadium, guided city tours on non-match days, travel with the best. We don't just book trips, let's craft your World Cup story. Don't just watch from home, be part of the action. Book now, limited spots available. Call 0256 060 997 or 0256060998. You can also email us at astonwc26@gmail.com. Locate us at G104 Local Road, Osu. Aston Travels and Tours, your passports to the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Get ready, the trophy awaits. Wanya Yenko. This is accredited by the Ministry of Sport and Recreation.
We're justified, and it's our time.
At Medifem, there is a lot that we do that we make our patients very, very, very comfortable. Right from the entrance when you enter here, there's no salon that you need. Even if you have your sickness, everything vanishes. I would like to also introduce that we have antenatal class as part of our nursing education. We do about 4 modules. Inside the 4 modules, we have various topics under them. This class also is done every week. There's a link that is shared where we discuss issues about maternal health. We also talk about neonatal jaundice, pregnancy-induced hypertension. It's a whole that we want everyone to come and experience. So kindly make it a point to come and experience Medifem, and you never forget. Remember that once you are not here, we are also not existing.
Faith-based topics and religious doctrines oftentimes brews confusion, debates, defensive postures, and passionate conversations. As a people, our allegiance to a denominational doctrine and canons must not cloud our judgment to miss the real focus of being Christ and biblical centered. Do our doctrines mold and shaping our identity, or they cloud our judgment and enslave our actions? Welcome to Religious Doctrines on the Hot Seat, exclusively on Adward TV, every Sunday from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. as our host Reginald Percival Robertson and Reverend Father Ebenezer Petrus take you on a captivating journey through religious doctrines. This live show offers compelling analysis, expert insights, and debates on vital faith-based topics. Dive into thought-provoking discussions that challenge your perspectives and deepen your understanding of religious teachings. Religious Doctrines on the Hot Seat, reforming mentalities, challenging dogmas.
When the time has come to make that choice, PPAG will be.
Do you feel maltreated by an intimate partner or a family relation? Are you experiencing emotional, financial, or any form of abuse at home, in your relationship, or at your workplace? Do you feel like you have reached your limits? No, you don't deserve this kind of treatment. Every woman, every child, every man has the right to live free from fear, free from violence, free to be human. You have the right to decide on what happens to your body, and that includes the right to choose a family planning method. Sexual and gender-based violence is a violation of human rights, and together we can end it. SGBV include rape, forced marriage, domestic abuse, female genital mutilation, and all forms of sexual exploitation. It is happening in our homes, our schools, our markets, sometimes our workplace, and even in silence. Sexual abuse is not a family issue. It is a crime. Speak up. Human rights are not just for some. They are for everyone, young or old, male or female, rich and poor. You have the right to say no. You have the right to be safe. Do not be afraid to report the perpetrators by stigmatizing the victims. If we stay in silence, the abuse will continue. But if we speak up, we will save lives. Who knows? You may be saving your loved one who would have become the next victim. Boys and men, you have a role. Stand against SGBV. Choose respect. No one deserves shame. If you know someone facing any of SGBV, please call Yenkasa on 0800 20 20 10 or WhatsApp 0245 118 228 for the best support you will need. Remember, the call is absolutely free. Let us help you report it to the appropriate institutions like DOVSU. Together, we can build a world where everyone is free. Free to dream, free from fear. Say no to violence. Say yes to dignity. It is your right. Yenkasa, help you can trust. This message is brought to you by Planned Parenthood Association of Ghana with the support from UNFPA Ghana. Together, we protect sexual and reproductive health rights.
by me.
Stand by me.
Hello there, welcome back, and you're watching AM Ghana on Adult Television. My name is Elizabeth, and then I'm Tamaklo. If you are just tuning in, well, you are in for the biggest conversation, because this is the part where we tell you more about Medifem, even as we speak about our health system. In Ghana now, there's a high demand for quality health care delivery, and this can be found here at Medifem. You would want to rely on a hospital or a facility that will give you 24-hour delivery when it comes to the health care, and you could just walk in at any point to know that your health is secured. Joining me here to talk about accessibility, reliability, as well as the quality services that are being delivered here is Dr. Suliyat, and then she'll be breaking down some of the services that are being offered here at Medifem. So join me and let's start the conversation, shall we? Hello.
Hello.
Good morning, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
I like your smile.
Thank you.
Okay, so the name is Dr. Suliyat, the surname?
Oyawoye.
Oyawoye.
Yes.
Okay, how's your morning going?
Oh, we thank God. It's going well.
And we're excited to have you on the show today. Today is all about Medifem. How do you feel about it?
Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited about it.
Well, to our viewers out there, tell us a little about Medifem.
Okay, so Medifem Multi-Specialist Hospital is actually 3 groups into one. So we have the Accra Fertility Center, which deals with the fertility side of things. If you are thinking of getting pregnant, having problems with getting pregnant, that's what they deal with. And then we have the Occupational Health, which deals with preventive medicine. So screenings, annual screenings, they go to companies and screen staff, and also do pre and post employment screening for people going into schools, and medical reports for schools. They also provide individual screening. So if you want to check your health and your health status of your family members, we also provide that services through Occupational Health Medifem. And then we have the Medifem Multi-Specialist Hospital, which is a multi-specialist 24 hours care. Okay, so we have the eye clinic, which works Mondays to Saturdays, and then we have the dental clinic, which also works Monday to Saturday. They provide good quality care in terms of your eye health and also your dental health. Then we have the acute medical care, which deals with the general practice as we know it. So we run a 24-hour service when it comes to acute medical care, and there's always at least 2 doctors on duty for 24 hours. So we provide emergency medicine if there's an emergency we see, and then also the general acute medicine. Then we have the pediatrician, who deals with the pediatric cases, and they run Monday to Sundays. Every day there's always somebody to take care of the kids in the hospital. And then we have the urology clinics, which deals more with like urology care for anything that has to do with urinary system, basically. And then the ENT, ear, nose and throat, we have an ear, nose and throat specialist who deals with anything to do with ear, nose, throat health. They are all highly qualified consultants in their field, well known in their field as well, and they are very patient, so they'll take good care of you. Apart from that, we also have the reconstructive surgery and plastic surgery. So we do from BBL to mama makeovers to breast reduction, anything you can think of plastic surgery, we do. And we have a very good team that deals with the cases. services. We also have a general surgeon who deals with emergency surgical care and also any general surgical care necessary. And last and not the least, obviously, the thing we are known for, which is obstetric and gynecology. We have lots of gynecologists in-house who are very patient. They don't just take care of your health in terms of as a woman, they take care of you as a whole, holistic care when it comes to our services, basically.
Well, earlier in our conversation with my colleagues, there was the conversation of 24-hour healthcare delivery over here, and we see that as one of the services you provide. And clearly, you also mentioned that some of the departments works from Monday to Saturday, yes?
Yeah.
You can walk in at any time. Now, this healthcare delivery, when it comes to 24 hours, has been one of the government's key mandates, okay, one of the policies that they have introduced in our health system. Is the healthcare system, when it comes to Medifem, was it already there, or did it start after this initiative? And how different is Medifem's 24-hour service delivery from the government's own?
Okay, so Medifem has been running 24 hours from inception. So we do 24 hours medical care. That's what we've been doing from inception. So this new new thing coming in, policy coming in, it's just going to augment what we have already running, and we are adapt to. In terms of our 24 hours care, we run holistic care regardless of the time. So whether you are in at 3 a.m. or you are in at 5 p.m. or 8 a.m. in the morning, you still get the same quality care that you would get any time of the day. Our labs run 24 hours, so which means even if you come at 3 a.m. and you are not well, we can run our labs, diagnose you, and you always find a smile on the doctor that you see. And that includes the other healthcare workers you meet as well. Everybody is always smiling and always friendly.
Well, for most Ghanaians, one of the key concerns has got to do with the national health insurance.
Okay.
So does the card work when you walk into Medifem? And what are the processes that you go through as a patient? There's the OPD, yes? There's the OPD?
Yes.
So you walk into the OPD. What services are provided when you get here? And does the national health insurance card work for here, Medifem?
Okay. So when you walk in into this place, I'm sure when you walked in this morning, you felt all relaxed.
Very relaxed.
You feel like you are in good hands.
Yes.
Let me put it that way.
Yes.
So the first person you meet will be our very friendly, the clinical client service. They are very friendly, always smiling. They'll meet up with you, ask you your name and your details. If you are new, they will have to key in some of the details, but if you are not, you probably provide them with your phone number. They'll get you into the system and you wait and see your doctor. Our waiting time is not too long, so once you are done, you go and see the doctor. The doctor would ask you what's wrong with you, check your health, examine you, and based on what you come with, would send you to the lab to do some labs. Then when you come back, she will reassess you, tell you about what was wrong with you, what the lab says, and then write medication for you. And then you go to the pharmacy where you are served with medication, and then
But when I walked in, I met a child over here. Is there a system for children, and how does that run?
Okay, so for children, during the 24-hour service, so the pediatrics team works from 8 o'clock till 5 p.m. Sometimes they stay up till 6, depending on how long the queue is. But usually by 5 o'clock, they stop taking in new pediatric kids. That being said, we have good quality medical officers who will take care of the kids from that time going. So usually if you come early in the morning, like 6 a.m., you will see the general practice doctor who will take care of the kids. So the kids, they join the queue, but usually we'll check and make sure that, it's nothing emergency. If it's emergency, we send you to the emergency room where the child is seen seen immediately, whether child or adult. Actually, we are seeing right immediately.
So for our viewers who are watching us now, what is that unique thing about Medifem that you'd want them to know and encourage them to walk in for service?
Okay, so for Medifem, we run a patient-centered care, and what that means is that it's not just about your health, it's not just about the disease that has brought you to the hospital, it's about the person behind the disease as well. We take care of you as an individual, we respect you, and we provide you with a comprehensive care. And the quality we provide, our doctors are hand selected, so you are provided with good quality medical care. Actually, all our health team, they are all hand selected, so depending on who we are meeting, from nurses to pharmacists to the lab to even the client service personnel, they are all trained on that patient-centered care. So you always meet a smile, you always feel comfortable, and we always explain to our patients what their condition is. It's not just take medicine and go. We'll tell you what's wrong with you, what you need to do. And if you think there's something more going on that you're not willing to share, we'll ask more. Are you sure you're okay? Have we met your expectations? So not many places does that, but we provide that as part of our care.
Okay, thank you so much, Doc, for joining us on the show. Well, there you have it. If you want quality service, if you want patient-centered service, Medifem is your #1 go-to facility. And also for your fertility issues, hey, go no further. Just look to Medifem Specialist Hospital, and then you will be taken care of. Now in Ghana, with the growing demand of high-quality service when it comes to our health system, you wouldn't want to jeopardize your health for any other thing. So contact Medifem on the details that will be showing on your screen during this show, and then you'll be taken very care of. But this is ADWA TV, and it is important for us to highlight that Medifem belongs to an Anglican, and we are so proud to be here to cover or throw more light on the services that are being provided. So this is a call out to other Anglican institutions to reach out to ADWA TV. Let us throw more light on your services as well as the benefits that comes with it to patients or to your customers. This is where we wrap up this session of AM Ghana. My name is Elizabeth and your name is Tamaklu. Coming up is Pepsival with a very interesting conversation on sperm preservation and egg donation, if I should say. Please stick and stay with us.
Attention Ghana, attention Black Stars. The world is calling and history is about to be made. 2026 FIFA World Cup to be hosted across Canada, Mexico, and the USA. The biggest celebration of football ever. This is your chance to be there live. Feel the roar of the crowd. Witness epic moments, goals, and cheers as a proud Ghanaian on the global stage.
Well, that's hooked forward. Here's a chase for Gian. He's 1-on-2. It is Gian. He's in the area. He scores! Ghana are back in front.
Ashton Travels and Tours, under the leadership of Honorable Alfred Okovandapoy, MP for Ablikuma South and Chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee, brings you the ultimate 2026 World Cup experience. Your journey includes full visa facilitation, travel insurance, match day tickets, mass transport to and from the stadium, guided city tours on non-match days, travel with the best. We don't just book trips, let's craft your World Cup story. Don't just watch from home, be part of the action. Book now, limited spots available. Call 0256 060 997 or 0256 060 998. You can also email us at astonwc26@gmail.com. Locate us at G104 Local Road, Osu. Ashton Travels and Tours, your passport to the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Get ready, the trophy awaits. One ya, Yenko. This is accredited by the Ministry of Sport and Recreation.
We're justified, and it's our time.
At Medifem, there is a lot that we do that we make our patients very, very, very comfortable. Right from the entrance when you enter here, there's no salon that you need. Even if you have your sickness, everything vanishes. I would like to also introduce that we have antenatal class as part of our nursing education. We do about 4 modules. Inside the 4 modules, we have various topics under them. This class also is done every week. There's a link that is shared where we discuss issues about maternal health. We also talk about neonatal jaundice, their pregnancy-induced hypertension. It's a whole that we want everyone to come and experience. So kindly make it a point to come and experience Medifem, and you never forget. Remember that once you are not here, we are also not existing.
Faith-based topics and religious doctrines oftentimes brews confusion, debates, defensive postures, and passionate conversations. As a people, our allegiance to a denominational doctrine and canons must not cloud our judgment to miss the real focus of being Christ and biblical centered. Do our doctrines mold and shaping our identity, or they cloud our judgment and enslave our actions? Welcome to Religious Doctrines on the Hot Seat, exclusively on Adward TV, every Sunday from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. as our host Reginald Percival Robertson and Reverend Father Ebenezer Petrus take you on a captivating journey through religious doctrines. This live show offers compelling analysis, expert insights, and debates on vital faith-based topics. Dive into thought-provoking discussions that challenge your perspectives and deepen your understanding of religious teachings. Religious Doctrines on the Hot Seat, reforming mentalities, challenging dogmas.
When the time has come to make that choice, PPAG will be PPAG.
Do you feel maltreated by an intimate partner or a family relation? Are you experiencing emotional, financial, or any form of abuse at home, in your relationship, or at your workplace? Do you feel like you have reached your limits? No, you don't deserve this kind of treatment. Every woman, every child, every man has the right to live free from fear, free from violence, free to be human. You have the right to decide on what happens to your body, and that includes the right to choose a family planning method. Sexual and gender-based violence is a violation of human rights, and together we can end it. SGBV include rape, forced marriage, domestic abuse, female genital mutilation, and all forms of sexual exploitation. It is happening in our homes, our schools, our markets, sometimes our workplace, and even in silence. Sexual abuse is not a family issue. It is a crime. Speak up. Human rights are not just for some. They are for everyone, young or old, male or female, rich and poor. You have the right to say no. You have the right to be safe. Do not be afraid to report the perpetrators by stigmatizing the victims. If we stay in silence, the abuse will continue. But if we speak up, we will save lives. Who knows? You may be saving your loved one who would have become the next victim. Boys and men, you have a role. Stand against SGBV. Choose respect. No one deserves shame. If you know someone facing any of SGBV, please call Yenkasa on 0800 20 20 10 or WhatsApp 0245 118 228 for the best support you will need. Remember, the call is absolutely free. Let us help you report it to the appropriate institutions like those two. Together, we can build a world where everyone is free. Free to dream, free from fear. Say no to violence. Say yes to dignity. It is your right. Yenkasa, help you can trust. This message is brought to you by Planned Parenthood Association of Ghana with the support from UNFPA Ghana. Together, we protect sexual and reproductive health rights.
Stand by me. Stand by me.
Adua TV, bringing good things to life.
Attention Ghana, attention Black Stars. The world is calling and history is about to be made. The 2026 FIFA World Cup to be hosted across Canada, Mexico and the USA. The biggest celebration of football ever. This is your chance to be there live. Feel the roar of the crowd. Witness epic moments, goals and cheers as a proud Ghanaian on the global stage.
Now that's hooked forward. Here's a chase for Gian. He's 1-on-2. It is Gian. He's in the area. He scores! Ghana are back in front.
Ashton Travels and Tours under the leadership of Honorable Alfred Okovandaboy, MP for Ablikuma South and Chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee, brings you the ultimate 2026 World Cup experience. Your journey includes full visa facilitation, travel insurance, match day tickets, mass transport to and from the stadium, guided city tours on non-match days, travel with the best. We don't just book trips, let's craft your World Cup story. Don't just watch from home, be part of the action. Book now, limited spots available. Call 0256 060 997 or 0256 060 998. You can also email us at astonwc26@gmail.com. Locate us at G104 Local Road, Osu. Ashton Travels and Tours, your passport to the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Get ready, the trophy awaits. Wanya Yenko. This is accredited by the Ministry of Sports and Recreation.
We're justified, and it's our time.
At Medifem, there is a lot that we do that we make our patients very, very, very comfortable. Right from the entrance, when you enter here, there's no salon that you need. Even if you have your sickness, everything vanishes. I would like to also introduce that we have antenatal class as part of our nursing education. We do about 4 modules. Inside the 4 modules, we have various topics under them. This class also is done every week. There is a link that is shared where we discuss issues about maternal health. We also talk about neonatal jaundice, pregnancy-induced hypertension. It's a home that we want everyone to come and experience. So kindly make it a point to come and experience Medifem, and you never forget. Remember that once you are not here, we are also not existing.
Faith-based topics and religious doctrines oftentimes brews confusion, debates, defensive postures, and passionate conversations.
As a people, our allegiance to a denominational doctrine and canons must not cloud our judgment to miss the real focus of being Christ and biblical centered. Do our doctrines mold and shaping our identity, or they cloud our judgment and enslave our actions? Welcome to Religious Doctrines on the Hot Seat, exclusively on Adwa TV, every Sunday from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. as our host Reginald Percival Robertson and Reverend Father Ebenezer Petrus take you on a captivating journey through religious doctrines. This live show offers compelling analysis, expert insights, and debates on vital faith-based topics. Dive into thought-provoking discussions that challenge your perspectives and deepen your understanding of religious teachings. Religious Doctrines on the Hot Seat, reforming mentalities, challenging dogmas.
Bako majabo Yehenyo kemije Enyo Bako Bako majabo mau Bako majabo Enyo kemije Enyo kemije Oh Bako Woble matesa ji Yehowa Woble matesa ji Yehowa Oh aniche Chebi fele ake Oh bo Ena Aniche biale Aniche Chebi fele ake Oh Menik basa Niela Kunim yelie ha menik basa Kristo Niela Chia meta Ewe molechi Boshini wulukawa Niye jomo Oh, raise your voice all over this place. Hey, now, you I feel bad for. If you happen to be in this room tonight and you don't speak Ga, I feel really bad for you. No, not in a bad way, just bad. Because they would disturb you with Ga today. Manche. Yeah, I would roll. Even me, I don't speak a lot of Ga. Need them to worry you. Me balala be mi dane, me ba mi danyo. Give Terry mic for me. She me be fair. Me na bo money. So much so he knows more verse. Ami Etrida Emi Mi Eba. Oh, please fix his mic. Put your hands together for Terry. Be fair. Yeah, nah, baby. You're more soon. You know, some of us they took us out of the car very early. That's why I still don't remember some of the songs. But I still do remember a few. You're more soon. He's laughing at me. He's there. Oh, can we celebrate Jesus in this place tonight? Tonight you have to take it cool for us. Then I'm in fun. Yeah. One year. Then I'm in fashion and Cristiano Sema. Oh, you are ready. Singing holy, 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 oh, yeah, yeah, oh, singing holy, holy, singing holy, 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 oh, sing it again, oh, singing holy, holy, yeah. Holy, 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 cause holy is the Lamb of God who sits upon the throne. He alone is worthy. Say it again, holy is the Lamb. Say, holy is the Lamb of God who sits upon. Can we raise it up unto the Lord tonight? I know we're on the rooftop. He alone is worthy. Say, are you ready to raise the Lamb? Hey, hey, hey. Kadosh, Kadosh. Kadosh, Kadosh. Kadosh, Kadosh. Kadosh, Kadosh. Holy, 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 yeah. Hey, hey. Is the Lamb of God. He alone is worthy of our praise. One more time, raise it up. Hey, hey. Say, Kadosh, Kadosh.
Since program 2 years ago somewhere in Dansuman and Ebenezer Hall, I'm sure, and then Outdoor Television was there. So big ups to Minister Terry Johnson for that particular video as well. We are still at the Medifem facility in the Westlands there, and this is part of the collaborative efforts that we are doing to project some works of the Anglicans that we know. And fortunately, the owners of the facility are proud Anglicans, and this is part of their contributions they are providing to society, and then healthcare is one of them. And as we are using this as a window to connect to other Anglicans to come and collaborate with Outdoor Television. And until you come and collaborate, you wouldn't know what people wouldn't be able to tell what exactly that is going on in your home space or facility to as well. So shout outs to the directors of Medifem for this wonderful things they do here. And then Dr. Izet Saliat was able to have a conversation with Elizabeth earlier on what exactly they do and then the components that goes into the many aspects of their work. But we are going to talk about parenthood planning and then or preservation too as well, and facility issues. So fertility issues, sorry. And then we have Dr. Humia, Joseph Humia, who is the medical director of the Accra Fertility Center that you're going to speak to. How are you doing, sir? How are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you too?
I'm well. How long have you been with Medifem?
About 15 years.
15 years?
Yes.
So you're part of the senior directors of the...
I'm part of the hospital.
Part of the hospital?
Yes.
What has the experience and journey been like for the past 15 years?
Oh, it's been quite a journey. I mean, we started off in Jolu as a small unit, a few wards, maybe about 10 beds. And we've progressed steadily and astronomically at some point, and now you can see where we are now.
It's huge. The underground car park, the space in front, even the stretch, and it's a beautiful place.
Thank you.
So if for the past 15 years you've been here, it's all been at the same place?
No, we started from Jolu.
From Jolu, okay.
Yes, we started from Jolu, then eventually moved here, I think around 2012. We're at the other parts, the older parts.
Okay.
Then we expanded along the line. So this is a new part, which is barely about a year and a half.
Whoa.
So yeah.
So this part is purely the eye clinic?
No, basically, there's a pharmacy here, a few clinics down, there's a lab, then the first floor has consulting rooms for various departments, obs and gynae.
There's a gynae department?
Yes, ENT, orthopedic, physician specialist. Then there's another floor for wards, you know, then the last floor is for offices and management. Then the fertility center is at the next block, the third floor.
Right. So that is where you are.
Yes,
that's where you are the director. Anyway, today we are talking about egg and sperm cryopreservation. Broadly to the layman, when we talk about egg and sperm cryopreservation, what are we looking at?
Yeah, cryopreservation basically means freezing. So, but in our sense, it's freezing and being able to restore it back to its previous self. You know, like you put a chicken in the fridge. The difference is that it's dead already. So even if you restore it, you get a fresh chicken, but it's not a live one. But when we talk about cryopreservation, we are trying to store a live sperm or a live egg over a period for whatever reason. And when we are ready, we thaw it back to a live sperm, a live egg that can actually go on to conceive, result in a child being born. So that's what cryopreservation is.
What will lead somebody? Because earlier my colleague was asking me that would I want to preserve my sperm, as I've not thought about it. But per your experience, what gingers people? What's the driving force that people come to the facility and say that this is me, I want to preserve my eggs or sperm for future usage?
Yeah, basically there are various reasons why somebody would want to cryopreserve his sperm or his egg. For instance, let's talk about the sperm. Let's say you're married, you don't live here. Your wife lives here, but maybe you come once in a year. You know, the chances of conception in a month is quite low. So if we cryopreserve your sperm, even in your absence, we can achieve conception with a wife. So that is one of the commonest reasons why people who don't live here outside, or even in Ghana, but maybe they live in Tamale, they don't come often. The second one is some patients have certain medical conditions for which maybe if you're going to have surgery, like a prostate problem, and you're going to have surgery, there's a risk that post the surgery you might not be able to produce the sperm to start a family, so you can store the sperm. Those going for chemotherapy, cancer treatments, there's a possibility that after the treatment you might not be able to father a child, so it's good to store the sperm before you go for the procedure. Then for the women, the main thing is aging. You know, the world has changed. Women are going to school just like us. They have career aspirations, schooling, PhDs and all that. Unfortunately, the woman is not fertile forever. Beyond 35, the fertility of a woman drops drastically. So if for whatever reason you are pursuing academic achievements or corporate and you're not ready to have a baby now, you can store your eggs and use it as and when you want. And of course, medical conditions like chemotherapy, you know, anytime you're going for chemotherapy, you might end up without eggs. So you store them and use them later.
But so how long has this branch of knowledge or field being prevalent in Ghana? Because sometimes there are so many things we've read and we know, but they say it is only happening in advanced countries. Per your experiences, how long do you think that we've been able to achieve this as a country?
Oh, it's been around for a long time, worldwide and even in Ghana. The only thing is that previously it was more difficult, and the recovery after storage wasn't as good as now. Now the procedure is very simple, and the recovery is very good. So, if I have to say, from in Ghana, probably from like the early 2000s, sperm storage was the initial thing, embryos, but now a lot of eggs too are being stored. So it's been around for, I mean, it's a standard procedure in fertility practice now. There's nothing complex anymore.
So on the procedure, what are the sciences that goes into it?
Yeah, so both of them, there's a process we call vitrification. Okay, basically what you are going to do is to like take the sperm or the egg from its normal state to a frozen state in a very quick time. That's what we call vitrification.
Okay.
So before you do that, you have to be sure that the man or the woman has the sperm already, or the egg is quality. There's enough of it. And of course, you have to go through some tests to be sure that he or she is medically fit to go through the process. Once that is done, for the man, you come to our facility after all these tests and we deem that you are able to store. Then you produce the sperm by masturbation. You produce the sperm by masturbation, and very rare occasions we might let you have sex with a partner and the resultant sperm. Yes, with your partner. With your partner. No, the facility doesn't produce.
Okay.
So, but the ideal thing is to produce it by masturbation.
Okay.
In some complex cases, there might be other ways of collecting the sperm, more invasive ways of collecting, but 99% of the time is by masturbation. For the woman, it's a bit more difficult. So the man, he just walks in, produces the sample, that's it. For the woman, it's a bit more difficult because you have to go through some injections for about 10 to 14 days for the eggs to develop. Daily injections. Then we have to take the woman to theater to go and pick up the eggs. It's a minor procedure, no cuts. Just a needle through the vagina, and we sedate you a bit. It takes about 10-15 minutes. Then we collect the eggs, give it to the embryologist. You rest for about 10-15 minutes, or maybe an hour, to recover from the anesthesia. Then that's it.
You go back to life.
You go back to life. And it can be stored for as long as you want. 10-15 years. It's stored. Anytime you need it, we thaw it and it can be used.
Okay. Two things. You made mention of quality. You go through a procedure to determine if the sperm or the egg is quality.
Yes.
What makes sperms quality? What makes the egg also quality?
Yeah, basically, the egg has certain characteristics. It's supposed to have one head, a body, and a tail. So if we look at the sperm you've produced, we expect not all of them will have these features. But the normal sperm has an egg, a head, body, and a tail. So when we look at what you produced, we take these normal ones out, and that is what we store. Sometimes the sperm count might be so poor that you wouldn't get these normal ones. That's why we have to be sure that there's enough sperm present.
Okay.
Because somebody might produce an ejaculate that contains no sperm, you can't store it.
There's an ejaculation without a sperm.
Yes, that's what we call azoospermia.
Okay.
So there's no sperm in what has come out.
So what came out is what?
It's called seminal fluid. It's called seminal fluid. So there's no sperm in it. So you can't store that. So before we ask you to go through this procedure, we have to check to be sure that your sperm count is quite okay. The same for the woman. The woman, like I mentioned, is not fertile forever.
Yeah.
The egg counts. A woman is born with all the eggs you ever have the day you are born. From that day onwards, it just keeps going down till we say you've gotten to menopause. So we have to run some tests. The basic one we do is what we call AMH. The AMH will tell us how many eggs you still got and whether we can get enough to store.
Interesting. Now let's look at the you made mention of the world changing now, where women are now more of like in equal facility with the pace of men. establishing career, gaining academic grounds, among other things. There. Now, how does this procedure becomes a solution to a planned parenthood, where people not necessarily not getting ready for family, but how this procedure helps them to make plans towards that?
Let me make a note of caution. I wouldn't just advise that everybody should go and store the eggs, because if you store the eggs, the procedure to get the eggs is not 100% procedure. And if you store the eggs, the procedure to do the IVF to get the pregnancy is not 100% procedure. So let's not create the impression like it's a savings account. You can go and put your money there, use it anytime you want.
Yeah.
No. If for a reason you cannot have a family now, that is when, so it should be the exception, not the rule. So once you have the egg stored, you can use it at 45, at 50 years. Anytime a partner comes up, you can even decide to have children independently of a partnership or a marriage, you know. But it should be the exception, not the norm.
All right.
But obviously, for patients going for surgeries or radiation or chemotherapy, that obviously is going to really bring their fertility down. That might be the rule.
The other one on independent parenting, where people can opt for it. Does it then mean that they can then decide and say, okay, I don't have a partner yet, but I am eager to have children on both sides, or it only has to do with probably the woman's side?
Both sides. The only problem is that for the man's side, you need a surrogate. You know, I mean, you could get the oocytes or the eggs and fertilize with your sperm, but of course the man cannot carry.
Okay.
But for the woman, because she's the one who carries, once she's able to get the sperm, yes, she can achieve pregnancy and have an independent lifestyle and have a child.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The world has changed. So
you have sperm donors who just come and donate sperms for women who want to live independent?
No, that's not the reason why we have sperm donors. Some men, as I mentioned earlier, might produce semen, but there's no sperm in it. Some of these men might require sperm donation.
Okay.
So because of that, most fertility centers and ours have what we call a sperm bank. So the sperm bank is for patients or males for some reason might not be able to achieve conception with their own semen, but it's not stored for just anybody to walk in and pick it up. Yes.
Right. So there are certain conditions you have to satisfy before you earlier made me concerned about cancer patients. What is the correlation here? Is it that to the uncertainty that might arise as a result of the whatever cancer procedure they're going through gives them some relief, or there are other specifics we need to look at?
For instance, if a woman is going for radiation for maybe cervical cancer, the radiation itself knocks off most of the eggs, if not all, because radiation is basically trying to, let's say, cook the cancer cells. But the radiation doesn't only cook healthy cells or cancer cells, it cooks both. So once the radiation or the chemotherapy is going into the ovaries, most often after you are done, your egg counts will be very low, if not zero. So the radiation has serious implications for your fertility. Once you go through it, you might end up without any eggs or any sperm. So for that reason, if you desire to have children, most people will counsel you, most doctors will counsel you, please go and store your eggs and come back for the radiation. Then after, you could go back for your eggs and have your babies. So that's what we call fertility preservation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So if anyone should just walk into your facility one day, like maybe I know you have sections ongoing from now, and then you have somebody like you just walks in. I want to preserve my sperm, or I come with a lady who I want to also preserve my eggs. What are some of the professional ethical consideration that as a facility you've put in place in terms of ownership, in terms of consent, in terms of the future usage of the governments?
Yeah, so once you come, first we have to ask why you want to store your sperm. Then we take you through the medical examination and testing to be sure that you have enough sperm. Then we counsel you about the implications of the storage. We don't want to create the impression that once you got sperm, that's it. You can go and come anytime, and well, you can go and come anytime. But like I said, sometimes when you thaw the sperm, you might not get exactly what you want. So all these things have to be known, and of course the alternatives of having a child now or getting the eggs fertilized and store embryos instead of the sperm. Once we take you through all these things, then you have to sign a consent form. Then we take you to the production room to produce a sample. Your sample is labeled and shown to you. The label is also recorded on the computer and in a special book as a backup, which you also identify and confirm. So your initials and the number that is assigned to you is added to it. If you produce a sample, there's a straw that we store the sperm in. So if we produce and you have 2 straws, it's recorded and you know that it's 2 straws, and it's put in the cryo can. So anytime it has to be used, you have to come back, identify this as your sperm before it's brought out and thawed. Your sperm cannot be given to anybody else without your consent. If you don't have any need for it, you have to come and sign for us to discard it. If you don't come and sign, we give you reminders, because as it's being stored, you have to be paying over a period. Until the client comes that I don't want to continue the storage, it will be kept there.
So even at any point, if you want to probably terminate or destroy it, you have to go back to the client.
You have to go back to the client, definitely. You know, the laws on assisted conception are not really clear-cut yet.
Okay.
We don't really have a law specific to assisted conception. We are now trying to pass a law which is in Parliament now. Elsewhere, after 5 years, if you haven't heard about from the client, you can destroy it. The World Health Organization says 10 years. If you haven't heard from the clients, you can destroy it. Because we don't have clear-cut rules now, we've got a pack of them there that's...
They're just sitting there.
Because you don't know when the client is going to show up. The day I left my sperm here, where is it? They say I destroyed it.
Sometimes I find it. I don't know what that is. Maybe just since you're an expert, you know. They have. Is there a way they can incubate them, the eggs and the sperm, you put them together, and then babies are formed? Or
yes, that's exactly what is done. You can store the sperm separately. You can store the egg separately. You can fertilize the egg with the sperm and store the babies or embryos. Yes.
So you store the embryo somewhere.
Yes.
That's safe.
Well, very safe. There's something called a cryo can. It's like a fridge, but it's a can with nitrogen in it. That's what keeps them stored or in a state of or cryopreserved. So once we collect the samples and put them in the straws, then we'll put them in the cryo can. So the babies can also be stored for as long as you want.
So once you are ready, then the woman just come and then you fix the embryo.
Once you are ready, you come, we take the embryos out, we thaw them, then we see that they are going back in the test tube.
Okay.
Then we put it back in the womb. for them to continue.
Continue growing there.
Yes.
Wow. So in the when you are storing it, but it doesn't meet up the 9 months period. It doesn't grow.
No.
You need the womb.
It's like it's like you've frozen anything.
Okay.
It stops at that point.
At that point.
Yes.
Once the baby is formed,
yes,
the fetus is dead, and
that's it. It's frozen, so it can't grow. It can only grow when you thaw it.
Okay. All right. So once you thaw it, you then check, ensure that there's like.
Yeah. Once you thaw it, it looks like a coin. The embryo.
It looks like a coin.
Like a CD coin. Yes. Once you thaw it, then you see that it's expanding, and if you don't put it back into the mother quickly, you see that it's like it bursts.
Wow!
Because it's outgrown the shell. So once you thaw it, within a short period, maybe an hour or two, it has to go back into the mother's womb to grow, because we can't keep it beyond that point. The technology hasn't reached the point where.
If not for client doctor privilege, I would have wished you invite me to see the process.
Oh, you can come and see it anytime.
Okay, invite me.
You can come and see it anytime. We can take you through the whole process. You can observe it. Yes,
right.
Of course, because the clients, you don't know whose sperm is this or whose egg is that.
Yeah.
It's just in the laboratory. So yeah.
Well, now let's come to cost. So we know how friendly or unfriendly it is. But even if it is unfriendly, what would you recommend?
Like I said, if you really need to have it done, you need to have it done. If you are traveling, for instance, and you want, because you can't be back in a while, and you want your wife to get pregnant through this process, it's cheaper than buying a ticket to come back if you store the sperm.
Okay.
And obviously, if you are going for surgery or chemotherapy, it's priceless to store your. For the sperm storage, you're talking about 5,000 to 7,000 Ghana cedi. So it's very manageable. I mean, to store an embryo or a human being and wake it up anytime, 7,000 is low for the technology.
$700, yeah?
Yeah, less than that.
Okay.
So it's quite affordable.
It's at your level, it's quite affordable. You say it's quite affordable. It's fine, but let me join you to say it's quite affordable.
Yeah, because the technology involved is quite complex. To freeze an embryo, a human being, to stop it growing, and after 5-10 years, let it start growing into a baby. It's quite complex.
The complexities on the procedure, both for freezing the eggs and then freezing the sperms, you've just cited a brief of it, but how complex really is it? And then in terms of the cost of both procedure too, which one is more friendly?
Like I said, the man's one is easy. I mean, you can go and freeze your sperm right now. You just go up. Wow. 30 minutes, you produce the sperm.
Just masturbation.
That's it.
All right.
But for the woman, it's a bit more complex. She has to go through injections for 14 days.
And you say they take the injection every
single day.
For the 14 days?
Yes.
Wow.
Then we have to take her to theater to go and pick up the...
What is the injection meant to do?
Well, the normal woman produces 1 egg a month.
The whole month?
Yes.
Just one.
But in storage, we need a lot more.
Okay.
So because we need a lot more, we have to give you hormones for you to produce a lot more than the normal one, because we can't store one.
All right.
So we give you hormones to store maybe 6 or 10. So the injections is just supposed to make you produce a lot more eggs than you would normally produce.
Which will not affect your already statistics.
No. I mean, you can go through this process 10 times. It's not going to affect your egg levels, the quality, quantity, or anything.
Oh, okay. God is wonderful. Anyways. What role has advanced technology now playing in this procedure? Like we've seen that you mentioned at a point, in fact, it's a process we've gone through. It's an evolution. Now we are here. But what benefits is tech bringing to this process?
Oh, a lot. I mean, previously, we had what we call slow freezing, and like I mentioned, it wasn't very efficient. Let's say if you store 10 embryos, eventually you might pick about 4. When you thaw them, about 4 might be normal. But with vitrification, if you store 10 embryos, 9 will be normal when you thaw them. So the technology has changed. It's become easier to store them. It takes about 10-15 minutes for the embryologists to store it. And even with the advent of AI, the AI is able to tell you which sperm is most likely to impregnate a woman, or which egg is most likely to result in a baby, or which embryo is most likely to result in a baby. And there's even the technology now of testing the sperm, the egg, or the embryo to know whether it's got any genetic defects. There's a technology to even check the color of the eyes of the baby, the sex, and all that. Of course, that is not really recommended or ethically approved. But the technology can do all these stuff. It's really advanced. The AI can choose the embryos for you to transfer, when to transfer. And, IVF or assisted conception, if I have to say, is going through so much technological evolution, maybe only compared to AI. No part of medicine is undergoing such drastic evolution. Every day something new comes up.
Right. Let's come to social expectations, especially on the part of women, and the freezing of the eggs, which I think some people are calling social freezing. Are we looking at empowering the women to continue with life as usual, and at a point where they feel like they are ready for children? There's something that is awaiting them, or it may be based on, you made mention of cancer among other things, and then there's hope for them, or it is for them to also say that, okay, this is a way for me to meet up to social pressure, to say that I won't pass away, I won't cross after 35 and then be tagged a barren because I've been able to do this. How do we reconcile this nuance?
Like I mentioned, it shouldn't be routine. It's not like you just, okay, I'm going to decide to stop my eggs when I'm 40. Because pregnancy after 35 also comes with its own complications. I mean, God in his own wisdom made women fertile for a period. Let's say 18 to about 35. That is when they are most fertile. And that is when they are able to go through pregnancy without many complications. So fine, you can store your eggs, you can come for them anytime, but the older you are, the more complications the pregnancy comes with. Diabetes, hypertension, and congenital abnormalities and all that. So it shouldn't be the norm. But of course, if a woman hasn't got a partner yet, she can't wait forever, because women their fertility is time bound. Or if she's not going to get any partner, she's at some point has to move on. Now the average woman is finishing uni, let's say 26, 27. She has to do a master's, she has to start a job, a career pattern. You can't just start having babies and all that. So even though it's not the norm that you just wake up, oh, I'm going to store my eggs, circumstances
is calling for.
Yeah.
I just hope that people will get to know the advice behind that. Don't make it a norm.
No. Yeah.
That caution is very important.
It's very important, yes. It's very important because you could store the eggs, store it, and not get anything. And at that point that you are 45, you might not be able to produce any eggs of your own. So as much as it's comforting to know you have eggs there stored and I can start anytime, I mean, the natural process is supposed to be the best.
Okay. Now, but you made mention of the legal framework and what laws are now trying to be in place, but the issue of inheritance. So somebody comes to store either an egg or a sperm. and then maybe the person passes on, but somebody else in the family has knowledge of this. What happens to that?
Yeah, those are the aspects that the assisted reproductive technology law seeks to address, because it's a hazy area. But for us, the person who signed and stored it is the only person who can come for the, unless it's written explicitly that in my absence this person can come for it. But you can't come and sign up for somebody's embryos or eggs when the person is not around. If a couple come to store their embryos and for one reason one passes, then because both of them are signatories, for instance, if a man and a wife come to store embryos and the husband passes, I believe the woman has the right to come for the embryos if she so desires. But these are areas that the law has to make clear so that we don't go foul of the law.
What process is the law now? It's still at the parliament?
Yeah, the last parliament was supposed to pass it, you know. Then the parliament went off and a new one came. And once a new parliament comes, the whole process has to start again. I mean, there's been stakeholder engagement. The chairman of the parliamentary health is a doctor. Then the deputy, Professor Bedio, is also a doctor. And they assured us during our last Fertility Society meeting that they are going to make sure this is passed before their third year. And so we are hopeful that it's going to be passed, because it makes a lot of things clear, especially when it comes to surrogacy. You know, IVF can be a minefield if you don't navigate it properly, because there's so much that can, you know, go wrong, or there's so much litigation that can come up and all that. So hopefully by next year the law should be passed and everybody knows what can be done, what cannot be done. Yeah, because there can be abuses, like you mentioned. If you store your sperm, what's a guarantee that the person might not use it for, even though there are guidelines as to, but it's a human institution. People can decide to do what is not appropriate. So the law should be clear, and the punishments for whatever you do, then everybody knows where you are.
Okay, I take this whole procedure to be a game of chance and not setting. How do you prep your clients and patients psychologically for them to be aware of what the outcome is, that it is not apt, that because you are storing it, that doesn't necessarily mean that tomorrow when you are in need of it, it's going to yield the results that you're looking for?
Yes, that's very important, because like I initially mentioned, it shouldn't be the norm that I'm going to store my sperm or my eggs. I'll come for it anytime, because it's not 100% certain procedure. So when you come, that is why we take you through alternatives. What are the other things you could do instead of just storing your sperm or your egg or your embryos? And of course, we have to let you understand the percentages involved in terms of success retrieving the eggs or the sperm or the embryos. You have to understand all these. And now there's a lot of information out there on these things. The counselor will also take you through, you know, because sometimes people come to store with various misconceptions, you know. So once we take you through all that, and you still want to have it stored, then, but of course the emphasis is that it's not the norm. It's supposed to be like a backup. So let's do the normal stuff, but let's have a backup if things don't go as expected, because life is not always straight. You know, divorces happen, relationships break down, illnesses come. If we have this as a backup, yes, there's a chance for you, because other than that, especially for the woman, at some point, if you want to get pregnant, then you might have to use somebody's eggs.
Which is not yours.
It's not yours, and it's not what anybody wants. Yeah. So for the woman, it's key. You know, men can have good sperm till the day they die.
We have it in abundance.
Because a man produces sperm every 70 to 90 days.
Yeah.
Women don't produce eggs again the day they are born. They've got all the eggs that they are not going to have. Every month you lose a lot. So you keep losing them till we say you're at 0. That is when we say menopause. And even before that, 5-6 years before you get to menopause, the egg levels are drastically reduced in terms of quantity and quality. So for women, sometimes it's really a challenge. Yeah.
It's a lot of care and attention should be paid to their procedure.
Yes, and I think there should be a lot more education because you'll be surprised that if you take 10 women, 10 well-educated women, they don't know about that women don't produce eggs.
Wow.
You know, that's once you are born, that's all the eggs you're going to have. You know, I've had patients, maybe 50-year-old come in that she wants to store her eggs, which is
impossible.
No, so sometimes you get surprised that how come this information is not out there? How come women don't know the limits of their fertility? You know, and I think it's about it's good we are talking about it now, but there should be a lot more education on it for women to appreciate. Because even previously, I mean, before era of technology and our grandparents and all that, once a woman finishes school, the next thing is, when are you going to have a baby? When are you going to have a baby? They knew that there's a limit to the age at which you can have babies, you know. But surprisingly, with all the information we have, we seem not to appreciate it like they used to do, you know. And life has changed, like we mentioned, schooling and all that. By the time you finish, you're 32, 33, you start work. Most organizations, you can't have a baby the first year or 2. By the time you realize you're 37, take a few years to get a permanent relationship, the eggs are finished. Then you have to go and use somebody's eggs to conceive, you know.
Though the time is clocking, and then we are saying that the career preservation should more be of like a backup and not a norm. What are there if there is in terms of risk, and then long-term medical considerations that people have to make, especially if they want to just toe the line of having a backup for parenthood?
Well, for the man, it's pretty straightforward. For the woman, there's a bit of risk in it because you're going to do injections for 10 to 14 days. These are hormones. Some women can overreact to the medications. There's something we call ovarian hyperstimulation syndrome, where the woman produces so many eggs that she gets bloated, and it can even be life-threatening. Picking up the eggs is a surgical procedure. She requires anesthesia. Anything can happen when somebody undergoes anesthesia. So long term, there are no risk per se in terms of egg donation or egg storage, but the process to get it stored is not innocuous, even though it's very safe. You never know.
What then finally becomes in terms of decisions at the point where a couple or maybe an individual is sitting there to, based on this interview, say, okay, let me take a choice to even come to the facility to even have a conversation. Let me decide to even undergo a procedure for, I don't know what tomorrow will look like, or when I look at the pattern of my life, there's a need to put 1 or 2 things in place. What then becomes a guide for us to choose the career preservation procedure?
I would say for a woman, if you go beyond 32, you don't have any immediate plans of being in a relationship or having or any obvious chance of getting conception, you have to start looking at it. So I'll put it around 32. You have to start looking at it seriously. If you are diagnosed with any medical condition, most often the doctors would advise you that the treatment could compromise your fertility. That one is an absolute indication for the procedure. For the men, mostly it's about not being around or medical conditions. Because if the man's sperm is okay, most often it's okay for virtually the whole life. Even though it can change at any point, but it's not as drastic as for the woman. So I'd say age, prospects, and any medical conditions that could put your fertility at risk.
Okay. What makes Medifem Fertility Center a preferred place? What makes you stand out? Because there's a plethora of them out there. And as far as you made mention of an association of
Fertility Society of Ghana.
So meaning that there's a whole society.
Yeah.
But what made Medifem different? What makes your services stands out? And what the warmth that I feel here? How is it exemplified at the Fertility Center?
Oh yes, Medifem from day one has been at the forefront of women's health. It was during the latter days that we've diversified to other specialties. And many kids have been born here.
Wow.
A lot of kids, both at Medifem and at Accra Fertility Center. What makes us stand out is a passion we have to help people go through this process. And of course, the ethics that we try to bring to this process. Like I mentioned, fertility or assisted conception, there are a lot of loopholes. And there's a lot of money in the process. Where there's money, people want to get there and make a lot out of it, and might not follow all the ethical principles that have to be followed. So I think once you come to Medifem, you can assure that ethically you're going to get things done according to how it's supposed to be done. We're going to give you all the information, no hidden cost. You start a procedure halfway through, we say, no, you have to pay this one. We put everything in front of you from day one. We walk you through the process. It's not always about money. Sometimes there are things that we can do to help you achieve conception that if you are sitting outside and you hear the first amount, 7,000, no, this is too much. But there are ways of going about, sometimes even some of these pharmaceutical companies might give us some medications, can you use it on a couple of your patients so there are processes to go around it. It's not about the amount you hear first. Medifem has been tried and tested. A lot of people will testify to the processes that go on here, how patients are received, how they are treated. And I can tell you regret it. If for nothing at all, you'll be satisfied that everything was done possible for you to achieve your aim.
Doctor is hot cake. I understand that there's a queue waiting for him. But before you go, there's a viewer on Facebook saying that during the procedure, especially the process of getting the eggs, is there any restriction on certain food? And then for the men too, when we are to just come and masturbate and release the sperms, is there something we don't need to eat? Maybe we shouldn't. Is there something we should go off?
Basically, fertility is also about your general health.
Yeah.
You're supposed to eat the right stuff. Lots of vegetables, lots of fruits, cut down on junk food, lots of fish, cut down on meat, chicken, no alcohol, cut down on caffeine, tea. And of course, cut down on illicit drugs, smoking, whatever, shisha, all those things. You have to stop all those things. For the man, you have to abstain from sex for about 4 days prior to the day of production.
You have to abstain from sex.
Yes, just 4 days. 4 days is not a lot, is it?
No, it's not, for me, it's not a lot. But I know people that it's a regular routine. They take it like they're taking Biko and multivit morning, afternoon, evening.
4 days is not a lot.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's it. So exercise is also good for you. So anything that makes your health, then we add some supplements to try and boost it a lot more. But basically, it's all about healthy life. Anything that makes you healthy, makes your sperm healthy, your eggs healthy, and that's all we advise. Yes.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Joseph.
Well, thanks at all.
Dr. Joseph Umia is the medical director at the Accra Fertility Center. Fertility, yes, Accra Fertility Center. And then he's here too with Medifem, and then he's fantastic. There are about 20 people waiting to get their eggs frozen, and then their sperms checked to be frozen. We're waiting, and then there are babies to be created today. So today being 15th, I hope that you create more babies today and make parents happy.
That's all we pray for.
Thank you for your time, sir.
Well, thanks at all.
All right, sir.
Have a nice day.
Have a nice day. All right, so that is Doc there, and then Doc has taken us through that Eloquent conversation. We are paving way for the sports crew to come in and do a lot of justice. Yesterday, Barcelona lost, and then they've been crying. There's been carnival all over. People are weeping. There's been men here and there trolling, shading Barcelona. Let's see what Isaac and then the rest have to say. The name is Festival. We are going on quick turn. When we come back, we have more for you on AM Ghana live from the Medifem Multi Facility Center at Westlands in Accra. We'll be right back.
Attention Ghana, attention Black Stars. The world is calling and history is about to be made. The 2026 FIFA World Cup to be hosted across Canada, Mexico and the USA. The biggest celebration of football ever. This is your chance to be there live. Feel the roar of the crowd. Witness epic moments, goals and cheers as a proud Ghanaian on the global stage.
Now that's hooked forward. Here's a chase for Gian. He's 1-on-2. It is Gian. He is in the area. He scores! Ghana are back in front.
Ashton Travels and Tours under the leadership of Honorable Alfred Okovandapoy, MP for Ablikuma South and Chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee, brings you the ultimate 2026 World Cup experience. Your journey includes full visa facilitation, travel insurance, match day tickets, mass transport to and from the stadium, guided city tours on non-match days, travel with the best. We don't just book trips, let's craft your World Cup story. Don't just watch from home, be part of the action. Book now, limited spots available. Call 0256 060 997 or 0256 060 998. You can also email us at astonwc26@gmail.com. Locate us at G104 Local Road, Osu. Aston Travels and Tours, your passport to the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Get ready, the trophy awaits. Wanya Yenko. This is accredited by the Ministry of Sports and Recreation.
At Medifem, there is a lot that we do that we make our patients very, very, very comfortable. Right from the entrance when you enter here, there's no salon that you need. Even if you have your sickness, everything vanishes. I would like to also introduce that we have antenatal class as part of our nursing education. We do about 4 modules. Inside the 4 modules, we have various topics under them. This class also is done every week. There's a link that is shared where we discuss issues about maternal health, We also talk about neonatal jaundice, pregnancy-induced hypertension. It's a whole that we want everyone to come and experience. So kindly make it a point to come and experience medicine, and you never forget. Remember that once you are not here, we are also not existing.
Faith-based topics and religious doctrines oftentimes brews confusion, debates, defensive postures, and passionate conversations. As a people, our allegiance to a denominational doctrine and canons must not cloud our judgment to miss the real focus of being Christ and biblical centered. Do our doctrines mold and shaping our identity, or they cloud our judgment and enslave our actions? Welcome to Religious Doctrines on the Hot Seat, exclusively on Adward TV, every Sunday from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. as our host Reginald Percival Robertson and Reverend Father Ebenezer Petrus take you on a captivating journey through religious doctrines. This live show offers compelling analysis, expert insights, and debates on vital faith-based topics. Dive into thought-provoking discussions that challenge your perspectives and deepen your understanding of religious teachings. Religious Doctrines on the Hot Seat, reforming mentalities, challenging dogmas.
When the time has come to make that choice, PPAG will be.
Do you feel maltreated by an intimate partner or a family relation? Are you experiencing emotional, financial, or any form of abuse at home, in your relationship, or at your workplace? Do you feel like you have reached your limits? No, you don't deserve this kind of treatment. Every woman, every child, every man has the right to live free from fear, free from violence, free to be human. You have the right to decide on what happens to your body, and that includes the right to choose a family planning method. Sexual and gender-based violence is a violation of human rights, and together we can end it. SGBV include rape, forced marriage, domestic abuse, female genital mutilation, and all forms of sexual exploitation. It is happening in our homes, our schools, our markets, sometimes our workplace, and even in silence. Sexual abuse is not a family issue. It is a crime. Speak up. Human rights are not just for some. They are for everyone, young or old, male or female, rich and poor. You have the right to say no. You have the right to be safe. Do not be afraid to report the perpetrators by stigmatizing the victims. If we stay in silence, the abuse will continue. But if we speak up, we will save lives. Who knows? You may be saving your loved one who would have become the next victim. Boys and men, you have a role. Stand against SGBV. Choose respect. No one deserves shame. If you know someone facing any of SGBV, please call Yenkasa on 0800 20 20 10 or WhatsApp 0245 118 228 for the best support you will need. Remember, the call is absolutely free. Let us help you report it to the appropriate institutions like DOVSU. Together, we can build a world where everyone is free. Free to dream, free from fear. Say no to violence. Say yes to dignity. It is your right. Yenkasa. Help you can trust. This message is brought to you by Planned Parenthood Association of Ghana with the support from UNFPA Ghana. Together, we protect sexual and reproductive health rights.
Stand by me.
All right, so let's continue with our show. We are live at the FM, and of course, we are so much in fact privileged to have met you here again. And then let's continue with sports. And a big thank you to Percival for having that insightful discussion with the doctor. And I believe by now you know where your stand is. Are you going to go to the natural means or to go have that one the doctor did talk about? So yesterday was on knockout stage at the UCL, and Arsenal is in there already. But of course, Barcelona were beaten by 2-1. Liverpool and aggregate were beaten by 4-0. And so today, we are going to see that wonderful game. I believe by now, the Los Blancos have already traveled to Germany to go meet that of Bayern Munich. Other matches to be told live. But before I do talk into it, let me go talk to Ike and then ask him. I don't know where he belongs. Yesterday, Barcelona were beaten by 2-0, 2-1, as you say. Ike, good morning.
Good morning.
Are you good?
Very good. Very, very good.
Nice jacket one.
Yes, of course, because I'm celebrating the victory of Atletico Madrid.
Oh, yes. Since when did you become ATM fan?
I'm a United fan, but when it comes to supporting teams in the UEFA Champions League, I don't support Barcelona in the UEFA Champions League, probably because of what they did to Man United in 2009 in 2011, winning the Champions League of Manchester United. So I still live with that pain, and whenever I see Barcelona playing in the Champions League, I'm not happy until they lose.
But this is not fair.
It's fair on my behalf. That's my choice.
No, you had no. In fact, your team was not the best.
Yes, of
Barcelona
course.
back in the days with Lionel Messi, Andre Iniesta, and all of those guys were doing very, very well. So the fact that your team lost does not mean you hate Barcelona.
I don't know. In the La Liga, yes, I love them, but in the Champions League,
you don't see them.
I don't want to see them there at all.
Okay, so let's talk about yesterday's game. Barcelona did go on our way to go meet Atletico Madrid. Your impression about the entire game?
Well, it was an insightful game, very beautiful one, of course. And on the night of UEFA Champions League, you expect nothing less but the best from the teams that are in the quarterfinals. And yesterday's game, I believe it was one for Atletico Madrid to win because they have met Barcelona twice in the Champions League prior to yesterday's game, and they've knocked them out. When you look at the Barcelona, then the Messi, the Iniesta, Xavi, Luis Suarez, Neymar, Carlos Puyol, Piqué, or Dani Alves, those squads, yes, big names in that particular squad, and Atletico Madrid were able to eliminate them not once but twice. And then when prior to yesterday's game, and they said that the coach showed them video of those years' games against Barcelona, and then it motivated the squad to go all out to beat Barcelona. So for me, yesterday's game was really beautiful and one that I was expecting to see. But one thing about this Barcelona team is that you can't win UEFA Champions League with this squad. When you look at their top defender is Kubasi, an 18-year-old defender, cannot lead the line for you to go and win the UEFA Champions League. Yes, in the first game, and then yesterday it happened to Eric Garcia again. So when you look at the record of Barcelona in the UEFA Champions League, it's one thing that people are not talking about. In the past 10 years, they have been to the semi-finals twice, and they have played the Europa League twice, and then they have been in the quarter-finals and then the round of 16. This is not an impressive record for Barcelona, and for me, I think they need to spend money if they want to win the UEFA Champions League. Ever since Messi, Neymar, Suarez exited Barcelona, they have really struggled to get to the semi-finals of the UEFA Champions League. Remember when they beat Liverpool 3-0 at Camp Nou? So we all thought it was game over until they came to Anfield, and then they were beaten by 4-0. The problem of Barcelona, for me, people think it's coaching. It's not coaching. Sometimes it's finances. You need the best. They don't have the money to buy. They don't have the money to buy. And when you look at this current squad, they don't have the experience enough to go out there to win the UEFA Champions League for them. So Fermin Lopez, Kubasi, Eric Garcia, Alejandro Balde, Ferran Torres, Marcus Rashford, these are not typical Barcelona players. For example,
aside that, they are between the ages of 18,
young squad, very young squad. And for me, for them to get to the quarterfinals is an achievement for this squad, because it's not easy to get to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. So for me, yesterday's game was really beautiful. Atletico Madrid deserved it, especially winning the first leg and at Camp Nou by 2-0. So I want to see the best. They'll be meeting either Arsenal or Sporting Lisbon, and I don't want to see a boring game at all, because Arsenal are not on top of their game at the moment, and you know Atletico Madrid how they play. But I hope that in the semi-finals, if they meet Arsenal, we'll see a better game than what we have been seeing in the Premier League and then La Liga from Atletico Madrid.
Okay, so let's be in England, where Liverpool sat home to meet that of Paris Saint-Germain. men. But unfortunately, on aggregate, we were beaten by 4-0. Is this the Liverpool? Are they working alone? As Liverpool, are they working alone?
Yeah, of course. When you look at this Liverpool team, at the moment they are working alone and working in their shadows too. I watched yesterday's game. I was watching the Barcelona game and at the same time watching the Liverpool game. If that game would have been played for 3 days continuously, Liverpool would not have scored.
Oh, really?
Yes, of course. You could see they were not creating enough chances, and I was shocked to see the lineup of Liverpool, and especially Mohamed Salah being on the bench. When he came in the second half, you could see that the game totally changed. He was causing havoc on the right hand side for Liverpool, and for the coach to keep him on the bench. I mean, people have a lot to say about Arne Slot, but for me, at the end of the season, they have to let him go.
Okay.
Spending 500 million in the summer and then not giving out the best of this Liverpool squad cause for your exit. Remember when Klopp came in, he didn't have that much money to spend, but he was able to go to 3 finals in his first season. And then when the owners decided to give him money, you could see what Liverpool did. Except that Pep Guardiola was wearing Jurgen Klopp in the league. So for me, Arne Slot deserved to be sacked. Whether he qualified for UEFA Champions League or not, he should be sacked because of the poor performances from his team. And when you look at the performance of Alexander Isak, Hugo Ekitike, he started the season very well, but getting to the end of the season, you could see that he lost his form. The best player in this Liverpool team is Szoboszlai. And
very good player.
Very good player. And when sometimes I don't know what goes into the head of Arne Slot. You can't play your best player at right back. Seriously.
Probably he was short of defenders.
Joe Gomez is there. He can do that job.
But that guy has been shambolic. He's not really been the Joe that we used to know.
Yes, of course. But if you need somebody to be creating chances for you up front, you don't put your best player, your best midfielder at the right back position. Who fills that void there? Who create the chances for you? We know Florian Wirtz did that in Germany, but in the Premier League he is struggling.
Yes.
So you put your best man forward to do the job for you. And for me, when you see the lineup and how Liverpool play, it's not the best, and that's not Liverpool style. You know, for me, I don't even trust Dutch coaches. When they come to the Premier League, they don't perform. I don't trust that coaches to do their job.
So Louis van Gaal with Manchester United, your team?
Yeah, Louis van Gaal. We saw Louis van Gaal. We saw Erik ten Hag. We saw Ronald Koeman at Southampton.
Countless number of names.
Yes. So Dutch coaches don't normally perform in the Premier League, and I don't know what good went into the decision to go for Arne Slot when there were a lot of coaches out there for Liverpool to go for. In his first season, he did well winning the Premier League, mainly because the other teams were not performing. Now Arsenal is performing. City somehow are also performing. United are off. Chelsea are also off. So Liverpool should have taken advantage of the situation, but due to poor coaching, they are also struggling. But kudos to PSG for that massive performance, especially the Ballon d'Or player, Ousmane Dembele, who scored the brace on the day. And Luis Enrique is building another solid squad. For me, I want PSG to be in the final again because we want to watch good football.
Okay. And so, before we go into that one again, before we go to today's game, as in the Arsenal and then the Bayern, Bayern is playing Real Madrid. Okay. Tell me, the Ballon d'Or. I'm hearing that of Olise. Are you vouching for Olise?
Yes, I'm vouching for Olise because this season he has been splendid across Europe. I don't see any player that comes close to him at the moment. Looking at the numbers that he has, 21 assists in Europe. No other player has it, and 16 goals in the Bundesliga.
Wow.
Yes, and then 8 goals in the UEFA Champions League. So these are his numbers.
That's
Who
incredible.
comes close? You come close to Olise. People are mentioning Lamine Yamal. Yes, he's a good player, but we are not talking about the numbers. You can be good on the field of play, but the data must support your performance. And when the data support Michel Olise's performance for Bayern Munich, and people want the Ballon d'Or to be a popularity contest. To me, we shouldn't be. It should be about the numbers. It doesn't have the clout or the aura around him, but the PR gimmick around Lamine Yamal, Harry Kane. You know, the English, they love their own, so they will do the PR job for you. But we are talking about the numbers and we are talking about the performances, and no one comes close close to Michel Olise this season. For me, he has been the best player across Europe. At the beginning of the season, it was Kylian Mbappe, but he also fell off and got injured. And now Michel Olise has taken over. And for me, if Bayern are able to go to the semi-finals of the Champions League, we know the Bundesliga they will win it. Sure. They will win it. So for me, it should be the bona fide properties. Yes, of course, they are bona fide property. So for the Ballon d'Or, I think it's Michel Olise's own to lose, unless something extraordinary happens during the season, or maybe he gets injured. Other than that, he deserves it.
Okay, so we are still live here at Medi Farm, and I'm talking to my colleague Isaac. He's telling me more about yesterday's Champions League. And obviously today, Real Madrid will be traveling to Bayern Munich to go meet them there. Arsenal will sit home to that of Sporting CP. Who wins the day will be off very soon. But before we end the show, let me go ask Isaac again. Today, Arsenal will stay home and meet that of Sporting CP. They are coming to this game with a lone goal. Are they going to go more goals? Real Madrid is going to go to Bayern Munich to go score them, because this time they are coming with 1 goal deficit. Ike.
Yeah, but I would also like to throw the question to: do you trust Arsenal to do the job?
You can never tell.
You can never tell. But you can tell from their recent performances.
You know, Arsenal have been performing very well in the Champions League, but
they are still unbeaten.
They're still unbeaten. So that's an incredible record.
Yeah.
But when you come to the EPL, I think they've lost a few matches that people think that they will not be able to, carry the EPL. But I think they still stand a chance.
Yes, of course, they still stand a chance until they beat Man City this weekend. I don't even trust them to do the job against Man City at the Etihad Sports Stadium.
That's a tall mountain to climb.
Tall mountain to climb, because in the AFL, the Carabao Cup final, we also saw what Man City did to this Arsenal team. For me, I thought this is Arsenal's moment to win the Carabao Cup. When you win that it boosts the team morale heading to the business end of the season. But when you lose in the manner that Arsenal lost in the final, it tells you that they are not up there psychologically. They are not ready to win a trophy. They can go to the Champions League final, but are they ready to win it? Whenever they are close to getting a trophy, something happens, mysteriously happens, and then they crumble on that day. And I'm hoping that this time around, tonight, they will not crumble against Sporting Lisbon. Remember when they played against FC Porto? They went to penalties, and then they lost on penalties to FC Porto. There was a lot.
The same Portuguese
same Portuguese team. So when they play against Portuguese team, they usually struggle. And this is the first time that they travel to Portugal to win under Mikel Arteta. And so, he has at least broken a record there, but he has won the first leg. Now, the major decision is to get your players performing. When you look at the Arsenal squad, Saka is not performing. Gyökeres is not performing. Martinelli is off. Leandro Trossard on and off. Gabriel Jesus doesn't give you the goals.
The only player who is performing now in Arsenal should be their goalkeeper.
Yes, their goalkeeper, David Raya, and maybe Zubimendi. Declan Rice. These are players that are performing for Arsenal. The rest, I think they need to do much more for Arsenal if they want to win the Premier League and then the UEFA Champions League.
Okay, our time is almost about. Tell me, there's been an argument that since Arteta came to Arsenal, he normally struggles in the month of April. Are you on the same thoughts? Are you saying that that one is going to have a negative effect on their game against CP today?
No, the records are there. Not only in April, but in February too as well. In February and April, Mikel Arteta struggles.
Arteta alone.
He struggles in the month of February and April. So if he wants to qualify to the semi-finals of the Champions League, he needs to break that psychological edge of this team. It seems like it's a psychological problem. Whenever they are getting close to getting something setting, and then the team crumbles. So it's up to Mikel Arteta to bring the best out of his squad. And one thing that I don't also trust Arteta is his first 11. Sometimes when it's not stable with the first 11. Changes, For me, I think Eze should be playing ahead of Odegaard. Looking at the numbers, his numbers are way better than Odegaard, who is the captain of the side. When it comes to creativity, he's there, but when it comes to the numbers, Eze has it. So for me, Eze should be starting off Martin Odegaard. And when it comes to the striking department, we know Gyökeres, he scored 67 goals last season, overall 67 goals, but he's not scoring for Arsenal at the moment. So what do you need to do? Go to up front, Gabriel Jesus, Gyökeres. They should be getting you the goals. But rather than, he's a defensive-minded coach, so he's always looking at he's always looking at the defensive side of the game. That's why he has bought a lot of centre backs. And for me, if you want to win the Premier League or the UEFA Champions League, you need to score, but you need to defend as well. But you need to score first. But if the team are not scoring, how do you win a trophy? So he needs to bring the best out of the squad to win a trophy.
We are done. CP, Arsenal home today. Who wins?
Because of the first leg advantage, even if Arsenal get a draw, they'll go through. So I'm tipping Arsenal to go through.
Let's go to Munchen. Who wins there?
I'm going for Madrid.
Madrid?
Yes.
Help the investors with how many goals?
I think it will be 3-1 in favor of Real Madrid.
The final of the UCL should be who? Good team.
Madrid should be there.
Madrid and who?
Madrid, Atletico should be there.
All right, so Madrid Atletico will be there. Hey, that would be a cracker. I thank you so much for passing through. All right, so my name is General Fifian. So you have to wrap up with the show, but a big thank you to the crew. I mean, been fantastic. Everybody here has done marvelously well. I mean, let's take off tomorrow morning at exactly 7 o'clock, which I'll bring you another edition of Adwa in the morning. Once again, call me General Fifi, and say a big thank you goes out to our beautiful young women who came to sit in before the program that starts. Tomorrow morning, catch us live at exactly 7 o'clock. It's said that champions, they love to train, losers, they are always complaining. Good morning.